Welcome to the Down South Packers podcast with me, your host, Anthony Boyd. And today we have a very special episode. We have my guy, Eddie, here from the Beers and Balls show. We're just going to get a little podcast together. Going to start working together a lot here soon. So get our first show under our belt together. Eddie, welcome to the channel.
Hell yeah, I appreciate you having me, man. It's a beautiful day, beautiful sunny day in North Carolina. I know you're a South Carolina guy, so the Carolina weather is starting to hit its prime. And that's when life starts being a lot better.
Agreed. The weather's perfect today. I felt good walking outside. I wish I was playing golf instead of sitting at work, but
that makes sense.
The weather's really good today. Had some Packers news throughout the day today, so we'll be hopping into a few of those topics here in a second, Eddie. I guess we go ahead and start off though. We'll start off with this Wednesday game, okay? Because that's something we were just talking about before we went live. How do you feel about the Wednesday game?
Well, Anthony, there's some things that happen throughout the day dealing with the Packers that, make the drywall in my house unsafe. And this is one of those things. Like, where's this idea of playing on Wednesday? Where'd that start? I know they're doing it to start the year. Why Wednesday? Why do we have to play on Wednesday?
They want the money. I mean, they know that we're suckers and we're gonna cave and watch more football. Whenever it comes up on TV, we're gonna be watching it. So I guess using the Packers. I mean, and the day before Thanksgiving too. I get it. People are trying to stay up because they have Thanksgiving Day off. But come on, man, are we serious giving the Packers a Wednesday game before Thanksgiving?
And there's a couple of upsides to this, right? That comes this Wednesday. It's basically a home game in LA. So that's kind of when you're not having to go travel to a rough crowd. Yeah, you got to go on the other side, the country. But with airplanes are nowadays, that's not as big as a deal as it used to be. And it brings up a good conversation on when the bye week is going to be, because I just cannot see them playing a Sunday game and then 2 days later play Wednesday game, because these guys, their recovery, they don't even start like their body feeling back to normal till Wednesday. You can't expect a guy to. I mean, Thursdays is already hard enough.
Exactly. I'm assuming it hadn't been confirmed that they have a week 11 bye. We're obviously hoping that they have a week 11 bye so that they have a break before that game. If not, though, it has to be a Thursday night game the week before. That's the only way I see them trying to make that happen, especially with the travel of getting out to LA and trying to play. That's very taxing on the players' bodies.
Where do you think I know there's a lot of things with money involved with playing on Wednesday, and especially right now in May, I would love to watch this Jets and Saints, Thursday night football game, but in season, I wouldn't watch that. That's the thing. I probably wouldn't in season, but right now it sounds great. And I just don't understand. I know it's the money, but if player safety is the NFL's priority, they're doing a bad job of going through it.
Yeah, I mean, they can claim player safety all they want. The league's going to do it. The Players Association is going to push back. Obviously, you saw that other report about the Players Association talking about grass again on all the fields. That conversation is going to happen forever.
Would they make $28 billion last year, but we can't put some grass in the field?
The fact that Green Bay has grass on their field year round makes no sense for why no one else can have grass.
You know what's so funny too is they always say Green Bay's surfaces is so slippery. But then
that's the saying all the time.
It's I don't get it. If you want grass this one way, but everybody wants to play on the soccer grass. But I'm no grass nerd. I don't know anything about grass.
No, player safety is just it's a talking point. They don't mean it.
The thing I wonder now that we kind of talked about grass here is, why is MetLife Stadium so bad on people, but all these other turf fields are fine? Do you think it's the difference in the actual turf or how it was built? I mean, why is it so bad? Why is there so many injuries at MetLife Stadium?
I think it's the turf. And I think a few years ago, they switched out the turf that they had to try to make it a safer version. But turf is turf at the end of the day. It doesn't give like grass is going to. I hate turf personally, not a huge fan of it. And I know the Green Bay is going to MetLife again this year. We're just there last year, going back this year to play against the Jets. Not looking forward to that. I just hold my breath every time a team's out there, especially my team. When my team's out there on the field, I'm scared that something's going to happen.
Yeah, it reminds me of my days as a 7-year-old playing tackle football in the street, falling asleep on the cement. That's it's insane.
That's what it's like.
It's insane.
It
But
makes no sense. It makes no sense.
Do you get excited about schedule release? Because years ago, it just felt like it would just get announced on like Twitter, and now it's some conglomerate. It feels like this for this year for me. This is like the first time I haven't gotten a whole bunch of leaks yet. Like before, and by now we would have like 9 games at least of all the big ones, and now we know when the Packers play one time.
Yeah, I think the NFL, again, pointing towards their money, they figured out another way to rope us in right before OTAs. They said, hey, these guys would love to sit here and wait for this schedule, and they make it a big deal now. They know we're going to tune in tomorrow and watch and see what the schedule is going to be. So they got us. They got us. They know what they're doing. They have us kind of hooked. I'm excited about it though. This one means more to me. My wife and I are trying to get up to Lambeau for the first time this year. So
hell yeah,
let's go. There waiting. We're waiting, trying to see the schedule. So we're like, what game are we going to? I told her it has to be the November or December. Exactly.
You got to be in the elements.
Non-negotiable. Non-negotiable.
If you want to watch a football game in nice weather, just go up to Bank of America.
I could easily go to Bank of America, but I want to be in the cold. She's been twice. She's been in the snow before, so she's seen it in all its glory. I've never been though, so I'm super excited about it. So now I'm waiting. I'm waiting on the schedule. I need to know what game we're probably going to.
Yeah.
Are you in July?
Yeah. But I think, in the back end of the season, because that's when, historically the Packers have been playing better, especially in December. So if they can get back into the rhythm of playing in December at a high level like they have been, that's a fun one to go to. And there's just so much attraction around it because it's not some big, it's not some big city. Obviously, just everything's all contained to one place. But that's awesome. But yeah, I'm excited for it. Yeah. I'm just I was thinking of maybe going up for the Panthers game because we need we need to get our look back.
Hey, gotta get it back.
It was disrespectful.
Gotta get it back.
I got something for Scorton. All right, Nick Scorton. He wants to come around going after me again. I got something for Nick Scorton. But
exactly
that one's up there. So maybe we'll kind of see how it goes. Now, what's some news we got today, Anthony? What's the news around 1265 Lombardi Avenue?
I think we got a new receiver coming to town. We got Jerry Rice's son, Brendan Rice, claimed off of waivers today. How do you feel about bringing in another receiver?
It's going to be the most funny thing if he actually makes the team, has this like Malik Heath rule where he plays like 3 times a year and he actually makes a catch that's like somewhat controversial to where if it's a fumble and it ends up not being a fumble, and then we get our lick back on Jerry because Jerry did fumble. Okay, Jerry fumbled, so now maybe we can get some of that same luck there. But at the end of the day, he's probably just some camp legs, something for Tyrod Taylor. Saying it right. I got beat up last time. It's Tyrod Taylor.
Gotta say it right.
Gotta say it right. Not Tyrod, Tyrod. Someone for him to throw to. Same thing with the other guy. Played at Syracuse and Ohio State. Can't remember his name. Not a very good quarterback.
Kyle McCord.
Yep, him. Have something for him to throw to and give him an opportunity. But it's going to be really hard for him to get reps in practice. I mean, it's been like this for years. We're probably going to love him, but this guy's probably a practice squad guy. Kind of more excited about who they got yesterday, though. The corner, former 7th-round corner. Anything to push Keyshawn out of Lambeau is moving in the right direction.
I was going with that. We were talking too about some of the position battles that we know are coming up in training camp. And corner's obviously the biggest one for the
Let's
Packers.
get into it.
That's a room where they brought in competition. Obviously, in the second round, brought in Brandon Cisse. I'm not a Carolina guy. I'm a Clemson fan. I went to Clemson for 2 years in college, so I'm not a big Gamecock guy. But I will say Brandon Cisse has me very excited, just because of how he talked, man. The way that he talked to Richard Sherman in that podcast, the way that he plays, I'm a huge fan of Brandon Cisse.
There's some things about like a player's look, how they are. You can kind of just tell like when he's that guy. And I haven't seen him play or anything, but there's just mannerisms that match accordingly to players that want to play at a high level. And Cisse checks those boxes, at least for me. And I wasn't big on Cisse before. All my mock drafts, when I was trying to be Brian Gutekunst, I said, because when we brought in St. Juice, I was like, okay, what makes sense for this quarters defense? You're playing off coverage. You want to match size with size. So Cisse wasn't on my board. And when we took him, I was like, okay, I need to know more. because I didn't like in the draft process, didn't really pay a lot of attention to him, but dude can jump out of the gym and he's a competitor. Yep. And those two things were not available last year to the Green Bay Packers. Just because his size at 6 foot, he'll probably play closer to 195, 200 pounds. He has the ability to high point the pass against a 6'3", 6'4" receiver and compete at the high point. And that's what's important. And he's a willing tackler.
And he comes up and he likes to tackle, which I love to see. I thought too, when I was doing all my mocks, I was starting to think about who the Packers have in the NFC North in terms of receivers that you have to guard, right? Obviously, you have
good ones.
The best one. You have Justin Jefferson, you have Amon-Ra in Detroit. Really, it was DJ Moore killing us every time we played the Bears, but Rome Odunze's had some big catches every time we played the Bears too. You have great receivers up here in the NFC North. You need cornerbacks that are going to be competitive against those guys, not just lay down when it comes to those matchups. And too often we saw last year and years prior that the Packers laid down in some of those elite matchups. Jair was the last person from the Packers that would fight against Justin Jefferson and actually compete. No one else did it. So, like you said, Keyshawn, I don't want to talk down on you, dude, but you haven't performed as well as you should have. Like, you just haven't performed as well as you should have. And I think Keyshawn lost me early last year. It was the Cowboys game. The deep pass that Dak had where Keyshawn was not remotely close to – I can't even remember who the receiver was from the Cowboys.
Turbin?
I thought it was Tolbert.
Yeah.
Small guy that, like, you weren't remotely close, and Dak just threw a 50-50 ball. And after that, I was like, man, what are we doing here? And I started getting in my friends' ears about it. They're like, Keyshawn's not that bad. He's not that bad. And then they see something, and they're like, dude, you might be right about Keyshawn Nixon. I'm like, it's every time. Anytime there's a big play, you know who's standing right beside the receiver.
Yeah, well, he was playing at a high level circumstantially because, the first few opponents, first up until the Cowboys game, these teams were now having to adjust for Micah Parsons and his ability and how good he was to where you can see that change that the NFL offenses approach to the Packers defense. They started getting the ball out, boom, quick, under 2 seconds. And it started in that Cowboys game and it gave a blueprint. And you can get away with kind of giving up plays 40 yards down the field in college. But buddy, Keyshawn Nixon has been in the league for like 7 years. Those are things you cannot do in this high volatile game that game was. You can't. I mean, the Packers still should have won that game, no matter what that play is. There was many other problems leading up to that game, but Keyshawn Nixon on third down is same as Carrington Valentine. We're getting on a third down and 9. They got picked on, especially by the better receivers. And I think Carrington Valentine has a certain edge of competition to him, but he just doesn't have the talent. He just doesn't have the – unless that's what happens when you have a 7th-round corner on the field. And he's played well, but he just doesn't have the talent.
Yeah, it sucks because I see flashes at times in Carrington. Like you'll see him break because he'll break on a ball and he'll drop it, or he'll make a perfect break on a receiver to make the tackle and misses the tackle. It's like it's there. You just don't complete the play every time you're in position to make the play. And every time he would do it last year, it'd lead to a massive play for the other team's offense, and it would hurt so bad. I think was it Jameson Williams he missed on, and Jameson Williams scored on it or something. I was like,
he made a perfect play. Finish.
You made the play. You made the play. Just finish the play. So bringing in Cisse in the draft, you brought in Damani Jackson, another player who struggled at times in college, had some injury issues. But a guy he's competitive too. He's competitive.
Well, and I give him more grace for his play because the whole Nick Saban's a cornerback guru. And by the time he got to Bama, Saban was gone, so he didn't get that high level. But I mean, he had some injuries last year. But when I watch college tape, I don't put a lot of grievance into it. I don't put a lot of weight into it because of the maybe 4 guys that are currently on the field playing, the others are going to be, the accountants and teachers of the world and, exercise science. So he's not playing high level competition, even if it's in the SEC. It's not like all these guys are playing in the NFL this year. And I think there couldn't probably be a better team for him to go to as well. In my mind, gets in, he can have competition even as a 7th rounder because his ability is his intangibles are going to be exciting. His speed, his size, where it's what we had on the field last year, it's like you can't go into this year thinking that that's going to be there. Maybe for the first week until they're like, okay, we have rookies, put them in, and go. But I like his upside. Like I like him in 2-3 years. Like I'm not looking for him to get any immediate impact outside of maybe special teams because you look back. You look at it's like if he can tackle, you look at him at maybe a gunner position because that killed the Packers in that playoff game when Bone Belton went down, and both gunners are down. That killed him. And for a guy that's looking to make a team, and he's like, he can tackle, get him ass down there and on a gunner. I think that's where he gets his initial first playing time is at special teams.
I'm with you. I think he'll come in and compete in special teams and at least get him some playing time here early. I'm just ready to see how quick the Packers are, what kind of leash they have with Keyshawn. Keyshawn's been a guy on the team for a while, and they still talk highly of him. Now, take that with a grain of salt because every time Goody talks good about somebody, they could be gone the next day.
Aaron Jones, Brandon Menace.
They could be gone very fast, but me personally, I'd love to see somebody out other than him out there. He does a lot of talking, and he never backs it up, which hurts. And people say, oh, he led the league, or he's like top of the league in pass deflection. It's like, yeah, because he's getting picked on. That's why. That's the only reason he's even up there, is because everyone's throwing at him when they have the opportunity.
Look at Pat Surtain's numbers and Keyshawn's, and look how many times Keyshawn was been thrown at. And Pat Surtain, in my opinion, is best corner in football.
He is, yeah.
And it's like you don't throw at Pat.
No,
you don't. But when you get thrown at, when you get thrown at, it's because there is so many holes in your game they can just pick on them, and everything that's like 15 yards down the field. Good luck, Keyshawn, because you just don't have the ability.
No, it's unfortunate. Any other positions that you see competition at?
The running back one interests me so much because I really thought they were going to get somebody, but I am a Marshawn Lloyd believer.
I saw you say that the other day.
Yep, I am a Marshawn Lloyd believer because it's a lottery ticket, right? And you already have Chris Brooks. He could do it. But he went to Hamstring University. He went to the same place Christian Watson went to. And my entire thought of Marshawn Lloyd is he's too damn explosive for his own body. And at this level, it takes that gear up. So he had to take his body up a gear that he didn't know how to either rehab or recover, whatever it was, those little mini steps that it takes to be an NFL player day in and day out to stay healthy. It just wasn't agreeing with his body. And I think the Packers have a ton of confidence that he's going to be ready by them not choosing a running back. Maybe it's Damian Martinez that becomes that Emmanuel Wilson role because they brought him in. He's really good, but that one interests me. It's not because like a starter, but it's like, where's your thought process here? Because you didn't really add anything to that room.
I'm thinking exactly like you. After 100%, I was with you. I thought they were going to draft somebody at running back. I thought you kind of had to. Just knowing Marshawn's history, he'd been hurt in college. He comes to the NFL, he's hurt again, and it's been lingering for so long. A bunch of different injuries. Had a groin injury, obviously had the hamstring. It's like, man, are we going to get past these injuries to the point where you can come and actually play football? And it did not seem like that was going to be the case at all. So I was like, oh, they'll draft a running back. And then there's not a running back drafted. Okay, so you're telling me you trust Marshawn Lloyd or someone else in that running back room that's currently there. We did see that, like you said, they brought back Chris Brooks, made sure that you had him on the team. He was great in pass protection last year, just amazing as a pass blocker, third down back.
He's basically a guard on third
elite.
Down. I mean, he's just so
elite
good.
Blocker in the back.
He runs hard. He runs hard too. Like he is I'm running forward. I don't know any jukes. I don't know a stiff arm. I know forward.
No. I'm running through your face.
Car. Yeah, he's basically it.
Very Packers running back.
Yes,
I like that about him. And then Martinez, like you said, could be another option at running back. So I was thinking, what are they going to do in the running back room? That seems like there's going to be something back there behind Josh Jacobs and Chris Brooks. There's another person that they trust to fill that spot.
Yeah, because
I hope it's Marshawn Lynch, though.
Yes.
I'm not Marshawn Lynch, Marshawn Lloyd.
I always say that. It's Marshawn Lynch. I mean, you got to just say it. I thought they brought in a guy, but I don't know if they signed him as a UDFA, but there was like a guy at like UCF or something that could just fly. I cannot remember his name. I've just seen him a few places, but I don't know if they brought him in as like a tryout or if he's a UDFA, but I don't think they really did anything to go there because, like you said, it was a hamstring and a groin. Those are just, small tissue. Same thing Christian Watson dealt with, and he went there and he was, for when it comes to small tissues at least, he was fine.
Yeah.
He looked
Yeah.
better than ever, even in coming after the ACL. So it's like, okay, there's some grievances there, and I think that they know that he's going to be able to handle it, and I think they have a better understanding of what his workload is for training camp to get him to be ready to go. Because that's going to be important. Because if you can unlock Marshawn Lloyd in this, because he's got fresh legs, obviously he's got no miles on him, but he hasn't played football in years. So, do you think there might be like a rust behind that, or do you think guys that have played football for this long can just pick it up and it's like riding a bike almost?
I think running backs you can. Yeah. I think running backs you can, just because I'm not just downplaying running backs and what they do on the football field, but that's like a second nature thing, like being able to have vision and hit holes at certain points. I think that's a position where you can get away with it as long as he's healthy, though. And I think people give the Packers training staff a lot of crap for how injuries happen in Green Bay. I think Green Bay just gets unfortunate luck with a lot of stuff that happens. But like, Jair pinned his letter today about his injuries, and at the time I got a lot of crap, and my friend, dude, 2-3 got it on today because man, that made me cry almost. I was like, you're one of my favorite Packers ever.
I played against Jair in high school. Yeah, I played against him in high school. Yeah.
See, from the area, so like it meant a lot to me when I saw that, and I was like, oh, Jair wrote something, and he said the Packers were cutting him, and I got a lot of crap from friends. Said, why are y'all cutting him? And I was like, he hadn't been right. There has to be something wrong with him. Obviously, the Packers made the right decision in that moment, and they've cut bait with a lot of players at the right moment when it comes to injuries. And if they have this faith in Marshawn Lloyd, there's something there. They know he's okay. He's going to bounce back, and he can come perform.
Yeah, the difference between Marshawn Lloyd and Jair is Jair's about to make $25 million, and in his player tribute, he knew what was going on. But first off, what a write from Jair Alexander. I mean, that was an amazing – I always love all the player tribunes. But that one, especially for him, I was maybe thinking this would be another year or so away. But for it to still kind of be a fresh wound for him, just kind of reading through it all, and it felt like I was like, oh, my gosh, like – my heart broke for him. I was just like, because this guy, this is his whole life. And I do see him playing again. I do. I
kind of do too. There's a little piece of me that holds out hope that he could come back and play football just because of how competitive he is.
Yeah.
Like he was an all-pro level guy. There's no way that he's just like, all right, my knee feels good. I'm 100% done with this game. And it sucked to see though, just the mental aspect of it though, that the injuries took on him. Like he's like, man, I'm top of the world guy in my position, and these injuries are hurting me that bad. That sucked to see. I hated that.
And it shows how much like these players love the Green Bay Packers. Like, it's like for a lot of these guys that get their second deal, it's like a marriage, And it's a business, of course, by the end of the day, but this is a relationship business at that.
Agreed.
People care. They're invested and they care. And it was just, I hated the whole situation. He got dealt a bad card, but it should not taint his future legacy that he has because his knee just did not agree with him. And if it's blown up in practice, then that's just, that's the one part of transparency I wish that we got as fans, so that people didn't overreact when like he would practice all week and not play. Like it's just like he had to drain his knee like every day. And it's just
we never heard that part.
We're never going to get that transparency, but in my perfect world I want to live in as a football fan is because it just, you hear it online and people are blowing up about it. It's like, but you're blowing up about things that you don't know. We're in a gray area. And I know it's a competitive advantage, but when they put them down for the season, like that's when I thought, okay, now there should be some transparency that comes from this.
Yeah.
Like of why. Because he practiced whole week and then now he's done for the year.
Yeah. That was something. Whenever he left Baltimore and went to Philly the week before they played us.
Yeah.
I was a little nervous. I was like, wait, is he good enough to play? I don't want prom Jair out here against us.
He would have brought it. If he would have played, he would have brought it because he talked about like he lost it. But I was like, you find that step when you're back and you got vengeance on your mind. You'll find that step.
Exactly. I was super nervous that day, but then he didn't play. And then they're just like, oh, yeah, he's done for the year. It's like, oh, what happened? But like you said, we didn't have that transparency. in the moment, and now everyone has to come to these different conclusions, and
everybody
everybody's
feels bad.
speculating.
Everybody feels bad now. Everybody I felt like I feel like an asshole because I was like, what the hell's going on? And kind of being rude. And I was like, now I feel like an asshole. But if I would have known what's going on, I wouldn't be an asshole. So it's like,
exactly.
Leave me alone, damn it. You give me the information. So we talk corner, we talk running back. What's your biggest either kind of concern is probably a lack of better word for this Green Bay Packers team, but do you have a camp battle that's on your mind, or is there like a concern at a position that you've had, post free agency, post the draft?
I don't know if I have any concerns. I think there's a couple spots where the Packers are really strong that I like the team right now. I like the decision, the way they're going at receiver. I'm a huge fan. I mean, I love the feeding a bunch of mouths because it catches people off guard. But at the same time, when you have three solid guys that you can go after and a tight end that was emerging as tight end one in the NFL last year, I like that. I'm okay with that. And then you have a couple of guys, rounding out the 4 and 5 spot at receiver. I really like the defensive line additions. I'm a huge fan of what's happened at defensive line. I think the Packers needed that. Wyatt will come back healthy this year and hopefully ball out. You add Hargrave, who had his best year ever underneath Gannon, and it was an absurd year underneath Gannon, and didn't do much under Flores' defense, but hopefully he can get rejuvenated. And then you add Chris McClellan in the middle too, and I think he's going to be a beast. I love watching him, man. I love watching Chris McClellan stuff. He's fun to watch.
I love watching linemen in general. I just like it because there's just that is the one position in football or one thing you can watch where it's like, okay, this guy's dominant when he's taking over the game, and that kind of ability and edge was missing in this interior defense line room because they're talking about to talk about the defense line. They're talking about giving Carl Brooks an extension where I'm like, I don't know, but when he did play good, it was in a 3-4. So it's like, can he play better in a 3-4? But my big question for defense is, does scheme matter? 4-3-3-4, does it matter because you play so much nickel 67% of the time? And then if you're not playing nickel, then you're playing your base or you're playing a dime. Like, does a 3-4, 4-3 really matter outside of the positioning of a nose or a 3-tech or 5-techs? Or, does it matter?
Not in the modern NFL. I think Gannon said it during his press conference, and a lot of people lost their minds. They're like, what do you mean we're multiple defense? We're an NFL defense. But I think there's some truth to that because you have to be able to adjust on the fly, and you're going to want players that can do multiple things. You don't want to draft a guy assuming, okay, I need him 100% only at this position. And then if you need to switch something up for a game plan, it's like, okay, you're useless, but you're also like one of our best players in this scheme. Now I can't play you. I get what Gaden was saying. It makes
Jimmy's
a lot of sense
and Joe's, to me. Not X's and O's. Jimmy's
exactly.
and Joe's. Play to your player strengths.
Give me athletes. Give me athletes.
And we talked about it on Twitter I think 2 weeks ago with just Gannon 3 safety. Look, have you looked back at much of what he did last year? Because I know he wasn't calling the plays, but obviously he had his influence. He was a head coach.
For sure.
He had his influence on what he wanted his DC to do. That shit excites the hell out of me. When I go back and watch with the Cardinals, you saw it because they went from week 8 on. They were playing out of their mind on defense. They had guys that could actually catch interceptions, unlike our guys that could not catch interceptions. However, so I don't know how you teach that better. If you don't, the ball king, but you're not getting the ball. But okay, I love you, Jeff Halfley. I love you, but
you got to get the ball.
Got to get the ball. But how do you bring that in? Because Javon, is this where Cisse gets on the field and how it configures? Like, how do you see this Packers defense with this? Because they already play technically 3 safeties with Bullard in the slot. But if you look at where the Cardinals do it, they basically run your regular like cover 2, cover 4, and then Budda Baker in the middle is just, you have no idea what he's doing.
He's roaming.
And I just see Javon Bullard being that guy because I think he's that good to do that because he is a freak.
I agree. He's fun. He's a very fun player to watch play football. His instincts are insane. That's why I love him whenever Halfley had him in the slot, is because anything short, he's going to blow it up. He's blowing that up. And he will come up and play the run. Very similar to Budda Baker. So when you brought that up
traits
on Twitter, I was like, there's some similar stuff to Budda Baker that he can do. And he has that dog in him.
Style. Yeah. His hair on fire. It just
I love it.
because you got to take somebody out though, because you can still have a slot corner. That's why I'm like, is this how? If the Packers do what the Packers do, which is never follow my instruction, it'll be Carrington Valentine and Keyshawn Nix on the field. But you have to take our linebacker off to do this and still have like a slot corner-esque kind of deal. Maybe that's where Cisse gets on the field to start, because the Packers don't like playing rookies anyway. That's why I'm like trying to not get too excited about them, because they just don't play them. So it's
I would love to see Cisse be the boundary corner. I would love to see that, but I doubt that's going to happen. Just again, like you said, knowing the Packers, rookies don't touch the field very often. No. It's hard for a rookie to touch the field in Green Bay.
If your first round pick is just not even involved, I mean, you can't expect a second or third round guy. But however, at positions of need, we look back at Evan Williams, Edrin Cooper, Javon Bullard's draft. They get thrown right in if it's a position of need that you have to address. So there's outliers, but in the general consensus, they're like, it's your time to develop. And I think it's detrimental to them, because you don't get their best play until 3-4 years, but we need to win right now. We need to win a Super Bowl right now. So
we're in a win-now mode with Mike on the team, with Tucker Kraft, with these contracts that are about to start hitting here soon.
Plan and develop.
You have to win now.
Yeah, draft and develop's got to go out of the window. We need to fill holes right now in any possible way ever. Draft and develop 5 years from now. Do it then. But for right now, when this window's open, you got Jordan Love in his prime, Michael Parsons in his prime. Figure out ways to win now. And I think that's what they did in the draft, and they did that in free agency.
Yep.
They didn't make any big swings. I mean, Javon Hargraves, it could be a 1-year deal. It looks big on paper, $20 million, but it's basically a 1-year deal. St. Juice is free. $10 million is free. If you're starting quarterback first, you're free. And then in the draft, they went after every position. Yeah. And I'm starting to see more people come around to this St. Juice being a starter. I said it the day he was signed. This is a starting corner. He is a starting corner for us. Ever a special teamer. No, he's a starter.
Watched a lot of his stuff from last year, and I like him. I like him a lot. Again, we'll tackle. I need cornerbacks that like to tackle. If you're out there in the field and you don't want to tackle, don't play corner for the Packers. Nope. I can't do that. He's rangy, very long. I love long corners.
Yes,
I'm a big fan of tall corners.
Long doesn't mean like the same thing as like tall, but he's both. He's tall
exactly.
And long. And Cisse's long. His arms are long, but he's not tall, but he's long. He's like lengthy. Yeah. And in this quarters coverage again and runs, length is a commodity that you just cannot put a price on.
No. Because not in this style of defense, no.
So one thing I want to hit with you as well, I'm very concerned of the offensive line. Can you call me down from this? I'm on the 12th floor looking down at the ground. Pull me back, because this offensive line, one injury is bad. Last year we had a little luck because Jordan Morgan was the swing tackle, and it's like, okay. Yeah. Zach Tom went down immediately. I'm like looking over, and I'm like, Kennard? I don't like that.
Yeah.
I don't like that.
Yeah. I could see those concerns for sure. I mean, the offensive line, obviously, Elton went down first, I believe, last year, right? Elton went down first. You move Ryan to center. Yeah. You move Ryan into center, and then Zach Tom was struggling throughout the whole year. I'll commend him because he battled to try to play for us and right tackle the whole year. I commend him for fighting. Banks was obviously a disappointment last year with how much money you paid.
He started her first time in practice, bad back, and you can't just come back from backs, man. You can't.
No,
I threw my back out the other day, and it was a rough go. I had to go get a Toradol shot.
Still bouncing back.
Yeah, still. I ain't even all the way back yet. I might be doubtful tomorrow. We'll find out.
Yeah. I think there's some things for me that I see as positives. I think when Banks did play well last year, end of the year, he started playing pretty good, and he looked like he was worth the money that you paid him. Sean Ryan, once he finally got his feet under him at center, he looked decent. Now in the playoff game, I wish we could snap the ball a little bit better on the final snap. Well, he was out that snap actually. He goes out that snap because he got hurt.
Anthony, bone bruise.
I forgot about bone bruise, and I was like, dude, you have to get up. You have to get up right
if you're laying on your back and you ain't got no time, that leg better be pointed the other way. It
gotta be
a bone.
You can't sit on the ground there.
Oh,
Can't sit on, and that led to a bad snap. So Ryan started to look better to me by the end of the year at center. Jordan Morgan will finally be at his natural position. Now Rasheed Walker stunk last year, so that's a positive. He tanked his value in free agency by playing so bad last season.
It's a reason why it took him 5 days to sign a contract and not the day one premiere.
Like people were thinking. And I was like, I don't know what people are seeing talking about Rasheed with how bad he played last year. Yeah. No, I don't see that. So you have Jordan Morgan in his natural position, Banks at left guard, Ryan back at center, right guard. I mean, you could make an argument the belt's kind of scary there because he's naturally a tackle, but I have faith in him developing with another year, just being right there at the guard. And then right tackle Zach Tom. Hopefully he comes back 100% healthy. Yeah. You know, knees can be funny. And especially with that patella tendon injury, you know, you're hoping that nothing's too bad with it. But hopefully I think I saw it once the Packers made the decision to bring back Ryan. It was, let's continue, just keep this unit together and develop, because the best thing on offensive line is obviously communication. Like these guys have to know what we're expecting on stunts. If it's a TT stunt, a TE stunt, whatever it is, I know what we're going to do at all times based on that, because this guy's been beside me the whole year. And then I think I feel better if there's an injury this year, because what's his name? Burton, that they brought in from Kentucky, just gives me good old Packers vibes, man. I just love watching him play.
Just go see who he follows on Twitter, and that'll tell you everything about quality Packers linemen right there.
Linemen, yeah. There's some stuff about the hashtag agenda on Twitter with Packers offensive line, and that agenda seems like it got pushed here. Man, I'm okay with if an injury happens this year. I'm fine.
Oh yeah, and I'm on the elevator back down now, so I appreciate you. I'm taking the elevator. I'm no longer on the roof. I'm on the
There's some hope.
Back down. I do. There is, you know. And first of all, I am a big Belton fan. I saw enough. Of course, he was a rookie getting thrown in basically week 2. And of course, I'm not hurting him on his mistakes, but when I saw he has a nasty streak to him, and he dropped 30 pounds. So he's going to be able to move better. He went from 360 down to 330, so he's going to be able to move better. And something I was pondering, I want your idea on this. Something when they re-signed Sean Ryan, I was like, okay, the only thing that made sense to this is because Jordan Love controls everything in the offensive line at this point. That's why you bring in a center and not get the guy that went to the Raiders, you know, that top guy. Because you don't need that control. He can shift, point out every block. And Sean Ryan, he was fine. You know, not great, not the worst. You're not the worst, but he wasn't like Myers his second to last year. You know, that was just terrible.
No,
he's not that. So I like Jordan Morgan being there. Banks is better. Can they get back to just running the ball physically, like powerfully? Because I think this offensive line is more of a finesse offensive line. Or do you think when Matt LaFleur came out and said, you know, building it back from the beginning, do you think he's true about that? Or do you think that was just bullshit? Because I think there is some truth behind him saying we're starting back from zero instead of continuing to build on from last year, because it felt like watching Matt or McCarthy with Eddie Lacy, where it's run into the line for nothing. That's what the run game felt like. Run into the line for nothing. Yeah. And for as many yards that Josh Jacobs got on yards after like contact, ridiculous. I mean, I would have left. I would have been like, nope, I'm getting out of here. I'm done.
I would have been pissed. Yeah.
I'm pissed. Yeah. What is your thoughts on there? I know it's like a 3-part question there, but where do you kind of digress from that?
I think I hope that the Packers are getting back to that, because I think the whole NFC North is trending in that direction. I think every other exception, maybe the Vikings, they don't know what they're doing up there on offense with quarterback situation and stuff like that. And Aaron Jones, love you, brother, but you're getting a little old, and I think you're starting to show some signs of aging up there. But I think the Bears and Lions, they're smash mouth teams. And you can't sit there as the Packers and take that from those teams and not want to impose your will in the same way that they're doing it to you. So I'm hoping that the offensive line the whole line gets a nasty streak about him. And Josh, and you got to think too, Josh Jacobs doesn't have, I don't know how many years he has left on his contract, but he's getting older.
2?
You don't have.
I think it was a 4-year deal. So, I mean, this could possibly be his last year in Green Bay.
Exactly. And do you really want to waste a year of Josh Jacobs when you have a great, he finished top 5 in rushing 2 years ago, his first season in Green Bay. I mean, you have a willing and capable running back there in the backfield. Make room for him. Get back, block hard in the run game. I'd love to see that. I don't want to. I mean, the finesse line's good because you want to protect your quarterback. Obviously, that's like step one. Keep him on his feet. Even then, though, we couldn't fully do that all the time. So I think there's just a step in general that this offensive line has to take as a whole this year, and hopefully, and this is something outside of the lines of football, but someone has to have some pride about themselves when it comes to this offensive line. There has to be a level of nastiness behind protecting my guy. That has to exist.
Yes, thank you. I was about to say that. When are we going to get somebody whooping some other guy's ass for putting our quarterback's head in the ground in Denver? When are we going to
need it?
I'll take a 15-yard penalty for that. I don't care. Yes. Just don't let it. Even people on the sidelines, just figure it out. Your word is pride. I'll use asshole. I need some asshole in these linemen. I need some like Brian Bulaga ain't taking that shit. Corey Linsley wouldn't have taken that shit.
No.
Sure as hell wouldn't have taken
Bakhtiari's not taking it.
Like where did that end? Was it because this line got so young so fast where there wasn't like because it got really young once Bakhtiari left. You know, it got real young and it wasn't like your grandpa's football anymore. That's kind of where that generational leap went from these guys playing. Or is it coaching?
It could be coaching, honestly. I mean, I would assume that offensive line coaches all have a nasty streak about them. Every offensive line coach I've ever met in my life is a tough-nosed guy, right?
You would think Dick Buckus' son would have an asshole to him, but I don't know. I don't see it.
It doesn't feel like it, right? It doesn't feel like it. This offensive line seems soft at times, and I need someone to want to defend their quarterback just like old Packers offensive lines would. Trying to think of a current offensive line. The Lions line when they had Decker and Ragnow, like that's a nasty type of line where they'd probably defend their quarterback a little bit, but the Packers haven't had anything like that.
Or could it be an NFL thing now? Because
you're right. There's not a lot of old your head.
There's not a lot of older like linemen that been around for 10. I mean, maybe San Fran with Trent Williams, but
he has a nasty streak about. He'll fight.
I think Washington. Previous now Commanders Trent Williams would have fought like he did a couple guys, but I think there's just a certain edge to doing that, and having to use your word pride for that, because that has to be something ingrained to you in high school, in college. Like, okay, you sacked my quarterback, don't do anything else. You already won the rep. You're not winning the shit talking. You're not. Because Jordan Love shouldn't have to try and fight these guys off himself.
No,
he already has a hard. You already have a hard enough time blocking. Don't let him do the end instinct thing, because it was the one guy that did show that is the next drive, Javon Bullard, when he did the old WWE spine buster. I mean, come on, those guys need to be the leaders in the rooms. Maybe not leaders of the team who have a lot of penalties.
A
lot of penalties. But they got to be those X factor guys, because it only takes one offensive lineman to be the asshole, and then the rest just pile together and they set them
follow them on.
Yeah, just need one asshole
line to do the same thing.
I think Belton should be that asshole. I don't know if you watched it when it was going up to the draft. The Packers had all the press rookies on, and he was like protecting the quarterback. From what he said, I was like, okay, he means all right. I saw the tape. I'm not letting this happen again. And I think he's going to be that catalyst for the offensive line of having a little more asshole to these other guys and scuffling up a little bit. We'll see in training camp. That's when all the scuffles come. We'll see who starts them. Zach Tom threw a couple punches last year. He ain't thrown none this year. So
no, he didn't. No,
we'll see.
Hopefully they bounce back and training camp get a couple. I think did they have a joint practice against the Cardinals? They have one against the Cardinals, don't they?
Yeah.
I think going against Mike LaFleur.
That makes sense. I mean, that makes sense. Beat up on your little brother a little bit, which is going to be funny.
Gannon will be a little extra motivated. Gannon will be extra motivated to get back at them.
Their whole thing about him and his press conference kind of stone faced and not emotional, because you're coming from Halfley that would tell you everything in the book. I mean, to this guy's like, I'm just players, not plays. What do you want from me? But then you get Cam Akers. You get Cam Akers coming out there, and he's just like, I'm Mississippi motherfucker right now. Like, I'll tell you everything. I drink 6 coffees, 15 Pepsis, and I'm going to kick the shit out of the ball. And it's like, hell yeah, I'm with that.
I like that.
Yeah. And it's like, John McCann was like, now I'm not excited on Thursdays when the assistants come on, but hell, I'll listen to Cam Akers talk about kicking footballs. It's better than old man that's now with your college team.
Yeah, and, he's Clemson.
When you heard that, you're like, the Clemson football's going down the drain.
My whole office at my job, we're all Clemson people. So they came up to me and they're like, what do you know about Rich Bisaccia? And I was like, well, Clemson hadn't made a kick in like 4 years. Special teams has sucked for forever in Clemson. And you bring in Rich, not going to make it any better. So it's probably going in the other direction. And they're like, seriously? And I said, yeah, seriously. I wish I was joking right now. It's not going to get any better.
Not. And you would think because Rich has been coaching forever, he'd have the answers, but he didn't have any answers.
He just seems like a good guy, too, which is the hard part. It's just like, man, you seem like a really genuine person.
Yeah.
Yeah. It seems like a real – and what he did in Vegas after Gruden got kicked out, he came in and they got to the playoffs.
I think they almost
got close to the playoffs.
Yeah. But no, I mean –
I thought it was good, though.
I think that's a killer for coaches when everybody likes you. That's like a killer because it's like – then nobody wants to criticize you, being like, needs to be better. Now, I don't think these players are actually being like, hey, Rich, you stink, but they always say very nice things, but then you get this grade coming out and whatever that scouting or the report is. But
that NFLPA card.
So to hit the special teams a little bit, we got some Trey Smack is going to be smacking field goals and extra points from the Green Bay Packers. Do you like that direction that they're going in?
I'm okay with it personally. I mean,
go ahead.
I'm okay with it. I mean, I think when McManus missed those kicks last year in the wild card game, it hurt. But it wasn't even just that
drywall,
point.
Anthony, I mean, drywall. It's not safe. Those are trigger words. Those are trigger words for me, Anthony.
That game obviously hurt, but there are also other games throughout the season where I gave him the benefit of the doubt. He kicked the Cowboy game, I believe. And what got that Cowboy resurgence started in that game was the blocked field goal that they got. That's what kind of turned the tide for them and brought them back into the game.
And that's not even on Brandon McManus. That's on Rich Bisaccia. They did it the week before in Cleveland. Or 2 weeks before. They overloaded, and he was like, oh, hey, we're going to do the same thing.
Do it again.
No changes.
So special teams was a problem.
It's so much different than just because Matt LaFleur doesn't let the starting offensive linemen or starters pretty much in general do special teams. That's bad. You've lost too many games to just act like special teams is just a bipartisan of football. It's just there because we have to do it.
No.
Too many games.
It's a part of the game.
Yes, it is too big.
The third phase of the game.
What is the difference between the linemen just standing up and blocking one more time? Just one more time before they come off the field. One time, because you're not getting any interior pressure to block. It's on the edges. It's the edges. You just need to figure out your edges because they overloaded you. Rich was like, I watched the tape and I'm not going to do anything about it. So I really think that the Packers have really gone through some sort of transformation the last 2 times they've done roster turnovers. One, get all the old heads out, when Rodgers left. And now it's getting rid of the dead weight. That's kind of what this offseason felt like get the dead weight out of here. Get the bad energy out of there. And then they said they didn't even need to see Trey Smack hit any kicks before they were like, Brandon McManus is not the answer.
Yeah.
Which is wild.
That was surprising.
It wouldn't have cost him. I don't think it would have cost him any more money. Nothing significant for him to just go through training camp and make that decision.
I think everybody expected McManus to at least get through camp before you cut him. But I started thinking that maybe McManus requested out because he saw the writing on the wall. I played terribly last season. I struggled at times. Hey, I'm older. You can go ahead and cut me if you want to. If you're cool with it, y'all can cut me. I know you have this other guy in here, Trey Smack, and then you still have Haversack. He's still technically on the roster. He's still around. So you still have somebody to give competition to the young guy.
The record holder is still in the building.
Exactly.
Let's put some respect on Haversack's name. He's still in the building. There.
He's still there. So you still have competition going on. It's just not McManus.
Yeah, the Packers did a disservice to McManus by rushing him back and not putting him on the IR for 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Which is just weird, and you got a guy, even if Haversick misses the kicks, McManus was going to miss them anyway. So it's like, at least let him get fully recovered before there. But, the big training thing is Doc McKenzie left. This is the first year without Doc McKenzie, and Doc McKenzie would have not let that happen on his watch. He would have been –
no.
Brandon McManus would have 100%. He wouldn't even have played. You could have started him, and then we're just not kicking extra points if they didn't put him on
quad injury as a kicker. You're letting the kicker try to battle through a quad injury. That just makes no sense.
That's like when the Vikings played Carson Wentz when he had like a dislocated right shoulder, and it's just like,
ridiculous, dude.
He doesn't need that. He doesn't need that shoulder. I mean, it's like that point was just like those small details that really just because I know that everybody can blame the injuries, right? Micah being down, Zach Tom being down, Wyatt being down, Tucker being down. But it's like the smaller details of how they approached each game and how they adjusted in game needs to be the biggest turnover because players are going to get hurt. It's the NFL. It's 100% attrition rate. You're going to get injured. But if Matt LaFleur cannot figure out how to just adjust, because in that Bears game in the playoff, he was wonderful. It was that boy cooking.
Man, I was like, this first half is a masterclass.
And all the 5 games they lost at the end of the year outside the Ravens, because we just got our ass kicked that game. I mean, we just
they beat us out.
I don't care how good Malik Willis could not have played better and win that game. It was the Packers did not want to play because there was nothing to play for. They didn't want to play. But 4 of those 5, they were always in position to win. And then when the rubber met the road in adversity, Matt LaFleur just could not get out of his own way. I don't know do you think it was play calling? Do you think it was like the mentality of how the game flowed? Was it simply just momentum of the game? You just when momentum gets away from you, it's just you got to hold on for the ride. You got to ride the wave.
It's kind of I think it's momentum. I think the Packers would build up. They'd play hard for 3 quarters every time. They play pretty hard for 3 quarters. Now in the wild card game, it started a little earlier, obviously. Like end of the 3rd quarter, the Bears started coming back. But I don't know. It's sometimes at times it feels like Matt takes his foot off the gas. Like he'll get up. Like for instance, I want to see a game like that Cowboy wild card game where you're beating that team and you're going to embarrass them. Once you get up, you make sure that they can't get up. You make sure you have your foot on their neck and they stay down. You see the Lions did that last year against the Bears. The Lions did all the time when Ben Johnson was at the Bears. Like those types of things happened. And I hate when the Packers are on the opposite side of those things where they have all the momentum. And then instead of closing out and finishing the game, they let a team come back. I don't know what the issue is because at times it seems like play calling and you want to run the ball out. You want to run the air out of the football. Let Jordan finish the game. Jordan's gotten you to this point playing well. Continue to trust him and let him finish the game out if you need to. If the run game's not there, we talked about it. Josh is running into the back of the offensive line all the time.
Yep, there's a run for nothing on the second down. Let's just give up first down because they wouldn't throw on first down. But I think also to that point, I don't remember the Packers in at least the first half because they didn't give up like any points in the first quarter. But they never built calluses on playing back from a lead, like having to come back. I don't remember a time where they were down 2 touchdowns going into half and had to come back because it was always relatively close. But because then I look back at years past and there was, Jordan Love and the Packers coming back against the Saints down 17. And those build calluses to where you have to play all 60 minutes because you've done it. But they never had any of that real adversity of being like, defense, we need to stop because we got to score 2 touchdowns right now. Point. They never really built the calluses there. And every team is a new team. So you can't take over last year's successes of building up that adversity because there's new people, new positions everywhere, new coaching staff, everything. That's why every year's a new year. But they just did not build the calluses. And it's kind of like you don't want to be down by 14 points. You don't want to, but there is some advantages that come to that because every game was close. Even the losses, every single loss was close. And there was never that need to do it. Maybe the Browns game, even though it was short, offense couldn't get out of their own way for a large part of it. That's the only one I can think of. And then the same thing with the Panthers. They just didn't execute. It wasn't this team is just so overly better than them right now. It's just either the losses they couldn't gather because their first 3 losses, they were 9-3, and they total points was 9.
Yeah.
There wasn't any adversity in that.
They didn't like. I never thought about it from that perspective because in years past, you're right. There was at least a couple games throughout the regular season in the Jordan Love era where they had been down and had to come back and win.
Yeah.
Or they're up and the team starts charging back on them and they have to put their hand out and say, "Hey, hold, stop right there! You're not coming back on us." Like that Panthers game, the Panthers Christmas Eve game where the Panthers started roaring back and then the Packers was like, "No. We're going to finish you." Okay.
Yeah, because you had that adversity through playing 60 minutes. But when you're in cruise control coming out of half and damn near every game and not in trying to limit possessions, because that's what they did this year. They try to limit possessions every game.
Yeah.
Instead of just having a killer mentality with it. You develop that when you're down 17, you got to go win a football game in 1 quarter like they did against the Saints.
Yeah.
That teaches young players these new things, and maybe it was simply that. Like, I'm not trying to say that it's like all these things combined, because I think at this level, it can be one thing that throws an entire season, an entire team off because they cannot get over one thing. And it could have been simply just the adversity.
That's a really good point. I never thought about that. That's something that I never even considered that. They never really went through adversity throughout the season. They just get beat on some stupid stuff at the end of the game most of the time.
Yeah, that's just a sports guy. I played football for years, and I remember adversity. It was always the biggest word thrown around in any sport you play. Adversity. Nothing good comes without adversity. We didn't have any.
No, at all.
Yeah, we had injury adversity, but to kind of end this show, of course, we almost been going for an hour here, but. Just hit on the injuries, Anthony. What do you think about the injuries with Tucker Kraft? When do you think they're going to be back? If you can give me your what you think and what you hope. Like, if put on your I don't want to be wrong hat because I'm being like politically correct on injuries, and then what you really kind of expect in your heart, because it's easy to be like, oh, week 6 for Micah. But do you think he might be ready week 4? And do you think Tucker might be ready week 1?
If we're going injuries from all the major injuries from last season, I'll start off with Zach Tom. I think he's week 1. He's ready week 1. He'll be ready to go. Especially after Goody's press conference. I think it was pre-draft where they asked him about Zach Tom, and he was like, "Oh, he's good. He's good. He had his surgery."
And then post-draft, he hit on Tucker and Micah.
Yeah, Micah. I'm gonna say week 4. I'm gonna say is when I hope and what I expect. I think that's probably the same week for Micah. Tucker, I hope week 2. I'm hoping week 2. Give him first week off, and then since he tore his a couple weeks before Micah, hopefully he'll be ready to go a little earlier. And I think he's a crucial piece of the offense. Just what he brings, he's just a beast. And I saw the video of him running on his Instagram, and I was like, okay, you got me going. I need you out there immediately. So I'm going to say Tucker week 2. What about you?
So, I really look into the pup deal and what the new change to the pup rules and being able to come back
I forgot about that.
And start practicing in week 2 of the 4 weeks. Or I guess it's returned to play in week 4. You miss 4 games. No matter what, you got to miss 4 games. Where's it 3? Is it miss 3 or miss 4? Or can you come back on the 4th game?
No, you come back. Yeah, you're right. You come back on the 4th game, so technically miss 3.
Yeah, whatever it may be,
something like that.
Whatever it may be. I know he could start practicing in his 2nd week of it. I think that because before, he would be ready week 5 because I think you have to miss 4 games because he can't start practicing until the 4th week of being on the pup list.
The 4th week.
Yep,
you're right.
So he would be back ready.
That's what Christian Watson had to do.
Yep. And the thing is, because their injuries kind of happen eerily similar time, and Christian wasn't ready until week 10. But I think right about week 10. No, he played against Carolina in week 9. Was it week 8 he made his debut against the Steelers? Week 7, week 8?
Yeah, because he went crazy. He went crazy against the Steelers. And that's when I realized Christian Watson's worth to the offense. It was like, okay, this is a completely different team when Christian Watson is out there on the field.
Yeah, it's so much different when he is. But for me with the injuries, it kind of sucks, right? Mostly because we got Micah in week 1, but he wasn't really ready until like week 4 because he had a Thursday night game right after and his snap count. I kind of see the same thing happening. Like, I think he can, with the new pup, the Packers are really going to know kind of where he's at and get that ramp up period without him actually having to play in those games. So by week 5, he's ready to just unleash. And there's just something different on how these freak athlete is just not the word to use. It's not good enough. It's not specimen. These specimens in the league that Micah Parsons is, where he's just ready week 5, and it's just going to be like he never left. And it's modern medicine these days. People are talking about, like, one more thing that does not keep the drywall safe with me. Like, oh, Micah Parsons never going to play again. He's going to be out all year.
Yeah,
like this is not the 1960s, Anthony. It's not. No. It's not like, and you're not dying from an ACL tear. It's such a little thing, but it's what can't go there. But I think he's going to be perfectly fine. Tucker Kraft's fine. I mean, with these freak athletes, you see Christian Watson arguably looked better.
He did.
There was no
than he ever did pre-injury.
Yes. Like, it was just so much better. So I think we probably get, if I am putting on my I don't want to be wrong hat, I'm going to say like week 6 he's ready to go. Maybe 7. If I'm putting on what I think in my heart, his ass be great week 5. He's going to play 25, 30 snaps week 5. This is what I think there. Tucker, week 1, he'll be ready to go. Probably on a snap count. But that tight end room, it's a dark cloud. It's a sore sight for the roster.
Yeah.
It's not.
It's How do you look as good without Tucker in it?
How do you have a Mack truck and then a baby deer as your tight ends? I see Luke Musgrave's a baby deer. He's just out there having a good time. He can't catch no yak yards. No yards after the catch. Never.
Even though he was faster than Tucker coming out of college.
He's scared. He just gets the ball and he's like, I don't know what to do with this thing in my hands. I don't know what to do. It is a point when they're laughing at you in the post game against the Cowboys when you finally just stayed on your feet.
You stayed on your feet. Yay!
That's insane to me. But it is what it is. He played better when they used him correctly. But all in all, I mean, guys are going to get hurt. You just hope it's not too bad. And they can be dangerous. Will they be dangerous? Because they can play they can play with any 31 other teams in the National Football League. There's not one team that is head and shoulders better than them.
No.
Can they allow themselves to play at that high level? Whether it's like the coaching staff that keeps them back, the players that are not supposed to be playing. Like, can we get Cisse in? Because both Carrington Valentine and Keyshawn Nixon are not going to be back next year. They are not going to be on the roster next year. We do not need to give them the Romeo Dobbs treatment to get a next contract for a comp pick. We have too many picks already for next year.
They're not as good as Romeo Dobbs was to even earn that type of treatment, quite honestly.
ChatGPT told me it's more beneficial to play rookies and guys you sign in free agency than guys that are on expiring contracts. ChatGPT is not going to lie to me, Anthony. We have that relationship.
Sure it
will not lie to me. Even though it still thinks Jair Alexander is still on team, it will not lie to me.
Won't lie to you, though. It knows all the correct information. All right, with the injuries, one quick final question. Okay. Schedule comes out tomorrow. Do you think the schedule makers are kind to the Packers early in the season, considering they know that Tucker Kraft and Micah Parsons will be missing time?
Yes. Ratings. Yeah. It would not surprise me if in like week 2 and 3, it's like Miami and the Jets, because it's like when Micah Parsons is on the field, when Tucker Kraft's on the field, the ratings just go through the roof. People want to watch Tucker Kraft drink beer, smoke cigarettes, and catch touchdowns. I mean,
exactly.
The people want to see that. They want to see Micah Parsons create havoc. That's why they're playing on the second Wednesday game, because of Micah Parsons. Like, I love Jordan Love, but it ain't because of Jordan Love.
No,
because Micah Parsons. That's when
Micah Parsons was on the graphic from the Rams.
Yes, it's a Puka and Micah. I mean, it's can be a little controversial. Look at some different angles. A while, but I think they actually do the Packers a favor. But is that beneficial for them to do a favor? Because
that's a hard. You kind of want those guys to come back and have some softer games as they work their way back into it. But the Packers schedule, it has some pretty tough teams on it. So
I don't look, but I don't look at the strength of schedule. I don't think that matters.
No, I agree.
The miles traveled, that matters.
Don't have to go far. Don't have to go far at all. What are they like? Second to last in miles that have to be traveled or something like that. They're down in the bottom.
Yeah, Bears are first.
Somewhere at the bottom.
I don't know who's second, but the Packers are third with roughly like 8,500 miles comparatively to the Niners, who I mean, they can't even practice without getting hurt. They got to travel around the world like a 1 time and a half around the world. I mean,
unfortunate.
God, imagine the Packers having to travel 35,000 miles.
We wouldn't make it.
These injuries? No.
Knowing the Packers' injury history,
these injuries
probably wouldn't work.
No way. But that's going to be the interesting thing because that's the only thing I care about. What's holidays and the first 4 weeks. That's what. Because I was like, are they going to kill us with division games? Are they going to give us Lions, Vikings, Bears? Because we always it feels like we can't go a year outside of 21 that it wasn't a divisional game. It was against the Saints in that catastrophe. Jameis Winston playing the game of his damn life, and Aaron Rodgers forgetting that he's a quarterback. Oh, man,
I think they don't. They gotta stay away from the division. I'm praying that they stay away from the division.
I'd be okay with the Vikings. I think I'd be okay.
That's what I'm leaning towards being the first game. I'm thinking it'll be the Vikings game 1, hopefully in Minnesota, because I feel like early in the season, every time it's in Lambeau, it's warm. Every time we play them early in the year, let's play them in Minnesota and make them come play in the cold later in the season.
Yeah,
kind of tired of them getting away with that. The Bears too. The Bears keep getting relatively early games in Lambeau. I want them to come play late in Lambeau.
I do not want the twice in 3 weeks deal. I couldn't.
I don't want that though. No,
I couldn't.
Let's not do that.
You just cannot go on Twitter.
Can't do that.
It's
toxic.
It's a terrible place, especially when it's twice in 3 weeks.
It was toxic.
What was it? 3 times in 5 weeks?
5 weeks, yeah. 3 times in 5 weeks.
God, once a day.
Worst experience.
Once a day, I want to delete Twitter. I see something makes me want to delete Twitter. It was bad. That was bad. Give me beginning and end of the year. I like it first and last because I think we could still. I think we could still beat them even without Micah. I think we can.
Yeah. I mean, you saw it. We saw it last year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think the Bears got better in as many facets as they could have. I think they have no money, so they can't do anything.
I think their offensive line is going to be a lot worse than it was.
Yeah,
last
I mean,
year.
their caps. They can't even buy a fucking house in Chicago with the cap space they got. I mean, let alone they're $600 million in debt with their stadium. That's why they want to move.
Yeah,
they can't even pay for their own stadium, let alone any players. But I don't think they did very well in the draft. I think Thiemann was a reach. That doesn't solve problems for him.
I did too.
Drafting that receiver in the 3rd was sure he was going to be undrafted, but go ahead, pay him more, pay him more. But yeah, I mean, losing an All-Pro center, best center in football, your left tackle is going to be out, if not all year, most of the year, because his ACL injury was like that playoff game, right?
Yeah.
They're not going to have TJ Edwards. I don't think they're going to have TJ Edwards to begin the year either. He tore his Achilles.
You traded DJ Moore away, and he was.
It's a lot of hedging for you. It's a lot of hedging. Well, that's what happens when you pay every player on the offensive line like free agent money. It's just you can't survive. But no. See, that'll be the most interesting thing I'm going to look for. Is those first 4 weeks. Everything else starts after that because they're going to have 9 home games, so they're not going to have like a 3-week stretch of road games. So it'll be. We already know when they have
no international games this year. Thank you, NFL. No international games.
And I know Nagler loves international games because he goes to them. Hell no, no.
They don't ever seem to go well. The Packers don't come out of them 100% every time. Yeah. I don't know what it is.
Quarterbacks don't. Aaron Rodgers broke his thumb. The year was done. Your Love somehow did not break his entire leg in half.
I almost cried when I saw him on the ground after that injury. I was like, that's it. Already the season's over and we just started.
It was just I couldn't have been more depressed. I mean, I was spamming, reloading Twitter the entire day. I even went to a concert on that Saturday and I'm still like, is he okay? Okay. Is he walking? Okay. All right. We're good. No ACL. Okay. But still, it affected the rest of the year. So it's just like, keep getting. I know, and it's cool. If you're an international fan, you want to watch football, come to America. Come here. You know, hey,
play on U.S. soil. Come watch us play on U.S. soil.
And good for all of them, but sucks. I don't care about soccer, so that's that. I'm not wanting whatever your Euro team is to come to America. I ain't asking for that. So stop asking for my NFL. That's a hot take. So, but that's just me being, I don't know, a brick wall.
I'll watch the international games. They're fun. They're fun on a Sunday morning. I just don't want my team in them.
Yeah, well,
you can send every other team over there. Just keep my team here.
Yeah, just move the Jaguars to England already.
They should be there.
Tony Khan already built a new stadium when they should already have been there. Like, I bet you Roger Goodell would have gave him $1 billion to go over there and build a stadium in New England or in England.
Set up a team.
Yeah, just make it the fucking England. They're already there for like 3 weeks out of a month. Like, I would hate to play.
Think about.
I would hate to play for the Jaguars. Having to go stay in England
on that. Oh, how did I never thought about that before. That just ran across my mind. How do they get taxed?
Yeah, because they have to pay taxes in every state that they play in. I mean, I gotta pay the Queen. I gotta pay the Queen.
That's the whole point. Well, that's why we started America in the first place. We didn't want to pay the taxes. Come on, man.
The Queen said we 1775 for a reason. Stop paying the Queen.
Yeah.
And now you got me paying the Queen. I got to pay Prince Harry for his divorce. Now I got
Goodell. We got to get this figured out.
Figure it out, Goodell.
Figure it out.
We are better than this, Goodell. Oh, this is fun. This got electric.
Hey, thank you, Eddie, for joining the pod today. Obviously, like I said, you guys are going to be seeing a lot more of me and Eddie together here over the next few weeks, months, hopefully years to come.
It will be.
Shout out to Nagler for putting us together, getting us. Found out he's a Carolina guy, so it was just like a match made in heaven. Right up the road for me, 15 minutes or so. So it was perfect.
It's not this easy doing a podcast with another person for the first time, as easy as this went today. So it is a shot of light to how good you are at this. So I appreciate you having me on the show, and I cannot wait for our either high of highs coming out of Victory Mondays, or you having to listen to me tell you all the problems that's going on at 1265. Because it is a roller coaster. And that Wednesday game before the Thanksgiving game, it is not going to be a fun one on this one for us. Because I got a lot of
I was about to say, our Thanksgiving reaction might have to keep the families away from us depending on how that game goes.
They don't want to be around me for the Packer games anyway, so I'm sure they don't want to be around for the reactions.
Well, thank you, Eddie, for joining. Guys, subscribe. Go check out Eddie's stuff at the Beers and Balls show for sure.
Nope,
go listen to Eddie.
Stay your ass here, down South Packers.
Go listen to Eddie too, man. Thank you guys for supporting. And as always, go Pack, go.
Go Pack, go, baby.